The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
Welcome everybody to another Friday night, another House of Stein Hot 10 show. Talking behind the scenes about some, YouTube, they got that algorithm going, that AI algorithm, and it'll find any little song or any little anything and cause your life to be a living hell until you just say, screw it. Just take it out. Get rid of it.
If I was a composer, I'd just come up with my own stuff. Of course, then they'd probably still strike me.
Yes. They figure out a way, bro. Trust me.
I need to bring back my guitar for long story short.
Yeah.
For like super chat money.
Yeah, why don't you write me a song, Yee?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Fucking A, dude.
I'll work on it.
So
You work on it?
Yeah. So like 2 years later, here's your song.
crazy shit. Crazy stuff, you guys. Thank you for everybody that's joining us live. We're gonna rock through this tonight. Shout out to our boy Richie and our boy Hood, who won't be able to make it tonight, but they'll be back next week. So much love to them. Say what's up to them. Let's get into one of the new all-time favorites, that being Woe/Blow with our Woe book of the week. And our Woe book of the week is something special to behold, you guys. Dan Panosian, I think, might be the best artist in comics.
I did not. I saw this and I was like, man, what is this? And then I was like, oh, hold it, that's a wraparound.
Oh, and even looks good in the normal, because it picks the guy in the middle, so it must be a fold-out wraparound or something, man.
That's pretty cool. Is it distillery book?
No, this is
distillery. Yeah, it's distillery.
Distillery. Oh,
yeah,
dude.
they're killing it.
I just hate magazine size, man. They are killing it though. See, look at the regular cover. It's just the dude in the middle. Man, so good. He put out probably 5 covers. His last 5 covers. Shout out to Ronnie. Appreciate that. Gifting new subs. He probably put out 5 of his last covers have been 10s. This is next level. He's on a roll. I think the biggest problem with magazines is it can't fit them in a damn short box, man. So
They'll fit it in a slide box.
Yeah,
for sure.
But distillery is also getting a lot of good like creator teams together where they can explore and do other things than what they're known for.
Yep. Well, hopefully they'll make it through their 3rd year. I think it's coming up on is it their 3rd year or 2nd year? I think it's their 3rd year. So we'll see. Let's cross our fingers for them. But that's a gorgeous Woe book of the week. You guys are gonna love.
I wasn't sure. Are you doing 2 woes?
I'm not doing. Do you want me to do 2, or do you want me to save that for next week?
It doesn't matter. I don't care. I mean, you can do it or not do it. I wasn't sure. I sent him to you, and I'm like, I don't know. See, for anybody like behind the scenes, like me and Brian literally don't talk at all. He hates me, so he just is like, I'm just not going to talk to him until Friday. So like we don't talk at all, and I just sent him the list, and I don't know if he even he's like, no, I got it. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't even know half the time if he knows what I'm even talking about.
I read his mind, dude. I'm a Ben Stein mind reader. Here's
he's on fire. And I was like, what is he gonna do with him?
Well, Shout out to Alex. Appreciate that. Welcome to the club, brother. Ronnie with the $10 super chat says, "You guys are awesome. Never stop. We love you, brother. Hope you're feeling better this week." All right. So this next book is very interesting because I've seen so many people talking about this book this week. It's pretty crazy how many people have brought this book up in my like scroll. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to give you another. Whoa, book of the week number 2. This, what is it? Told to tell number 8. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I can't remember who. Somebody sent it to me on, and I can't remember if it was Tony or Paralyzed. I can't remember. Somebody sent it to me on Instagram, and
or was it James Kreider?
Might have been Kreider.
Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, 3T is told to tell. So that's what the 3T stands for.
There's only 200 of these. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it looks like something from like the 30s, the 20s,
Yeah.
something like that.
Big time. Big time. It's very interesting. So 2 woe books of the week for you guys. Congratulations. You came here on a good night. But that doesn't mean that you get away from the ferocity that is the blow book of the week.
Oh, that blows. That blows.
If the shit wasn't there, it would still be bad. But the shit just makes it so bad, it's unreal. But I would buy that.
Short.
I'd buy that. I'd buy that for $1.
You would buy this?
In a fucking heartbeat, bro, for $1? Kidding me?
Long Short found it for like 50 cents or $1, something like that.
How many people in the chat would buy that book for $1? I'd buy that book for $3, maybe even $5. Yeah.
What's the cap?
$10, maybe $10, maybe $10.
Maybe $10 at a con.
Yeah.
If you had a few drinks in you, that kind of situation.
Sloth Park. Oh my god, bro. That is. Yeah, that is. That's rough. $5 for sure, says Card Vibe. Yeah. Yeah. Ben thinks so much of you now, McClay. Oh my god, bro. This is fucking rough. I love how kiss ass. Kiss ass. Did
That's
you guys
funny.
all
instead of kick ass?
Did you guys all like say it as soon as you saw it, like in his voice in your head?
See, I skipped it too fast, and I saw kick ass,
Uh,
like not even thinking about it until you said it. I was like, kind of.
I wonder if this book is even for sale on eBay. Let's take a look. You think so?
Maybe.
Sloth Park #1. No wait, no sales. One time, come on. Oh, it's all over the place, bro.
And
$3,
it's gone.
$2.70. There's a #1A, bro. There's a variant. There's a variant for $23. Holy shit. This is pretty amazing. So there you go. Not only is it a blow book of the week, but you also know where you can go find the variant. Sick. Shout out to our boy and Billy over at Economics and Comics. All right. Stein, you back with us?
Yeah, my headphones were connecting to my wife's phone, who's on the other side of the house, and I literally couldn't hear anything. I'm like, And then all of a sudden, like music started playing, and I'm like, what is going on?
All right, let's get into Buy the Dip. Starting off with an all-time great, one of my most favorite grails is for sure the Nabisco variant for Wolverine number 145, which is just such a fantastic Sienkiewicz cover, super rare, one of those big grails that now is on Buy the Dip. So
Yeah. So, I mean, I know this book doesn't sell a whole bunch, but I found the CGC 9.8 sale where it was listed for 3,500, and the buyer accepted a best offer of 3K. So you're like, okay, 3K, that seems like a lot of money. Well, a 9.8 copy last year sold for $6,300. There's been 2 sales this year, so the 45-day average is $29.50, and it's down 50% from last year. But there was only 1 sale for 9.8 as well, so just kind of keep that in mind. But you know, that's an extreme kind of drop, right, from 6K to 3.
wow. JC's comic stuff just hit it on the head. I'm surprised they haven't printed it out again. Please don't. Please don't. Don't even put that out there. Don't ruin this book like you just ruined the C2E2 book. Oh, man. Well, you're right.
How was it that you got? How did you get this?
It was a send away.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, like, what did you have to? You send like 20 boxes of Oreos?
Let's take a look.
I mean, how'd you get? I don't know. I'm just curious.
Let's go to our favorite all-time site, Recalled Comics. Nabisco. All right, here we go. To obtain this variant, you had to cut out barcodes from Nabisco snacks and then send them in before a specified deadline. The comic was then mailed back to a lucky few who spotted this offer. Wow. It was that easy, Stein. A box of Oreos, and you could have had half of this, maybe.
Huh.
I would imagine it's hard to get in high grade anyways, right?
Oh, yeah.
All
Yeah,
black
because you
cover,
figure.
no.
Yeah, I mean, and they probably sent it to you in a manila envelope.
Yeah.
Dude,
Folded.
I went and bought. I've been looking for a book for a long time, and I finally found it on UK eBay, and it was still like $26, and it cost $21 to ship it. I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. I swear to God, you guys, it came in a manila envelope taped on all 4 sides, no bag, no board.
Crazy.
Destroyed. I was heartbroken because I've been looking for it forever, and I paid $21 for them to ship it that way. What do you do at that point? Do you like if it's do you just chalk it up like I'm not even going to give her bad feedback at that point? Just be like
Kind of message them on the side like that's not how you ship comics, like especially if you're going to ship international.
Yeah, probably.
No.
All right, next on Buy the Dip, Night Nurse number 1 from 1972. This book was hot for a while, and it is another book that's down 50%. Night Nurse number 1, first appearance of Night Nurse, CGC 7.5. Ooh.
Yeah, so this recently had a low sell of $129. The 30-day average for a CGC 7.5 is $165. This is down 55% from last year. So shout out to Richie for this book. I would guess that why he put this on was because, especially with all the Daredevil cast being, reuniting on stage for D23. So he probably sees like that there's a possibility of a play here. That if you scoop up this book cheap, that whenever that starts up again, you could probably flip it, or just even like what a preview or something, like a teaser trailer.
Yeah, I like Night Nurse number 2. Right? Isn't Night Nurse number 2? Is that a tough book too? For some reason, I remember that book being a tough book.
Well, this is only a 4-issue miniseries.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what's her name did a great job playing her in Daredevil. I'll say that. So.
Oh, Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, I thought she was great in Daredevil. She was excellent. Too bad she's terrible in Ahsoka, just because she doesn't know how to smile. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is By the Dip. Make sure you guys go check out Spec Media every Tuesday for By the Dip. Shout out to Ferd Bird the Nerd, sitting in for Richie the other night. Great show, you guys. Good job. So.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Ferd.
Yeah, Ferd also had a really good show on his channel last night. So shout out to everybody that checked out the comic book beefs, top 10 comic book beefs they ranked. It was pretty interesting.
Every time I see Ferd's name, I just want to rhyme more "erd," and I always come back to "turd." I don't know why. I'm like,
Bird the Nerd taking a turd.
Yeah, like it just makes me want to rhyme more, and that for some reason my mind always goes to turd first.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I always think of the bird song. It's the bird's word.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Shout out to Ferd. Let's move on to the Almost 10. Starting off with a cover that is absolutely beautiful, amazing. We saw this book on Wednesday night when we were going through New Comic Book Day. It was towards the bottom of the list, but as soon as we saw it, every single one of us were like, holy cow, that's a fucking great cover. It's about as good as a hot chick cover you can get with just being her neck up, right? Like it's super sexy. Even with just being her neck up, it's super sexy the way she's positioned, the black and white, and then the red with the blood in her lipsticks, and her lipstick and then the vampire teeth it looks like, and just a great cover. The trade dress kind of kills it, but man, that's a good cover. Tales of the Bizarre number 8.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be one. This is going to be one that, I mean, how many copies of this are going to be out there? Not many. Yeah. And then once the copies that are like
circulating
out there now, yeah, like once those are gone, the people that are buying this are just probably buying it for themselves, so to keep. So it's kind of one of those. I feel like it's one of those books that people just buy to keep themselves, and those are usually the ones that end up going up, and then nobody, even when they go up in value, people still don't want to sell them because they know they can't replace them because you can't find them. So it's like, I don't know. If I happen to see it this week, I will definitely pick this one up. But
yeah,
I mean, I just can't see that very many of them would be ordered.
Damn, that's beautiful cover. That is just so good.
Who's the artist on this?
Raph? Is it Raph? Or I think it's Raph is his name. If that sounds right. Chat, let us know. Hey, Raph? Let me take a look.
Can't know.
Tales of the Bizarre. Let's take a look.
That's got some other good covers in that series, though, right?
Yeah. This is number 8. That's what, like, when we were looking at it the other day, we were like, whoa, this is the first cover that we're seeing. And when you look at this. So that number 1 isn't too bad, right? That one's not too bad. They're actually all pretty good, to be honest. That one's good. That one's good. That one's decent. Yeah, Zaf. Oh, look at this one. He did the last 3.
So he's got, I like that number 7. That number 7's gorgeous too.
Look at that one. This artist is wow. That's a great cover right there.
Yeah, has this person done anything else ever?
I've never heard of him, but
Zap.
we're gonna be hearing about him for a while. Them, her, him for a while now. That's for sure. Look at that. Wow. Kreider, if you're here, and let us know. This one's got to be already be on your list because this is like right up Kreider's alley. That is fantastic. I would love to see some more info about that artist, but beautiful stuff. Tales of the Bizarre #8. Only selling for $8 to $10, but again, it's not a variant, it's not a ratio. Just came out this week. It's gonna be probably tough to find at some point, depending on how many copies there are. Probably not many, like Stein is saying. So, we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. I'm definitely gonna be looking for one too. So if you find extra Stein, grab one from me. Moving on. This one's interesting too. Transformers Spotlight Megatron issue #1. There was a $50 sale for this week, raw.
Yeah,
Wow.
and this is just the A cover.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's a second print.
I know. Yeah, there's a B cover. There's a incentive variant. The incentive variant's pretty sweet looking.
Yes.
Most of those spotlights are 1 in 10, so I think that's probably a 1 in 10. Some of these Transformer Spotlight books sell really, really well. I didn't know the Megatron one. I mean, $50 for the A cover. That really surprised me.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then I was trying to find like another A cover even for sale, and I couldn't even really find one. So I don't know if it's just really hard to. I mean, maybe these are just hard to get. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if Skybound's generating interest again in Transformers so much that people are starting to go back into back issues to find those books.
I hope. I got a whole, it's funny. I found a whole short box full of, for the most part, they're not low grade, but they're not high grade Transformers. You can tell they were read pretty well, but it's like almost a whole run, dude. And I found a whole short box of it just the other day. So,
Of the IDWs?
no,
Or
of
the
the
Marvel?
Marvel. I wish it was the IDW of the Marvel. There was some IDW stuff in there and Dreamwave stuff in there, but yeah, the IDW stuff though there's some stuff in there that is crazy rare too, like you were talking about, and some recent stuff for Transformers. I'm always waiting for the next. What was that book? The one that Jesse James sold it for like $8,000 like 5 years ago. Is the last time it got sold. It's the
Oh, was it the Energon one or the whatever it was?
Planet Cyber.
Yeah.
The Planet one. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy Transformer variants.
Are the Dreamwaves like basically just looked at like complete garbage?
I think they were for a long time, but I think people will start pushing to them. Listen, we got a new. I hear there's talks about doing another movie and bringing Duke into it, and Chris Hemsworth is going to play Duke. You know what I mean? And if they're going to do a Transformers G.I. Joe world in movies, and if they do it right. Kirkman said they're planning on animations, movies, all kinds of stuff. So, Anita says, Tales of Bizarre #8 in stock on my comic shop. Wow. Thank you so much, Anita. Appreciate that.
I'm going to have to... I haven't bought anything from my comic shop in forever, so I might have to go get that.
Yeah. Yeah, cool book. So, all right, moving on. Speaking of Daniel Warren Johnson or Transformers, here's Daniel Warren Johnson doing a non-Transformers book. This is the Do a Powerbomb #1 Comics Vault Live variant by DWJ, and it is awesome too. But this is an oldie. This not necessarily an oldie. It came out a year ago. So
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how hard this one actually is to find. I couldn't really find that many sales, but a CGC 9.8 of this sold for $180 this week, which was it seems like really
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a cool cover though, man. That's a cool cover for sure. Daniel Warren Johnson's starting to get some heat. Matt
then
from Cover Price says that series has some fantastic covers. It also has it's a fantastic read. So there we go.
I was just about to say that a bunch of people that I've talked to, they're like, this is my favorite book to read right now for indie titles. But whenever like issues were still coming out.
Nice. Fucking A, man. That's cool. Well, there you go. Moving on. Another Transformers book, and then another series that has some great covers. Transformers Ghostbusters. This is issue number 1. The Roche variant is $25 book raw.
yeah, just a B cover. It's not an incentive. I'm not sure. I mean, having Slimer on the cover, I'm sure probably helps. Because Slimer covers usually do pretty well, but yeah, $25 for this.
Dude, there's some great covers in this one too.
I feel like most people probably would just pass these by. Like if they're in the back issue bins, I feel like people just wouldn't buy them, right?
Maybe not the first ones, but that's a great cover right there. Right? The 1 in 25 with Stay Puff. That's good. And then there's there's another Stay Puff that's by Clayton Crane. There's a 1 in 50. This one right here is awesome. The San Diego Comic-Con #1 is so good with Optimus, but in the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 paint scheme.
I always get nervous about con exclusives from IDW since you can buy them online sometimes.
This one right here is amazing. Number 2, cover B. So Ghostbusters, I mean, and I'm a Slimer fan too, so I'll take Slimer on the cover. This 1 in 10 is great. So this design cover is amazing. Stein, like, what are you doing, bro? We need to look at that 1 in 10 right there. That one's awesome. That one's good too. We need to quit talking about these, bro. No more almost 10. No more almost 10, you guys. I'm sorry. We know it's fun and we love doing it, but we just can't keep talking about these books till we get them.
Matt says there's a first appearance
of the Ectotron. That's pretty badass. Yeah. There was a really badass Slimer. Maybe it was like a hot toy or something at San Diego. You remember seeing that, Yee? It was like about that big. It was awesome. It looked like it was lighting up.
I think that was from NECA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
So, well, be on the lookout. Here's some more Transformers stuff to search. All right, moving on. Simpsons #1, specifically the Barcode edition, which I think we talked about maybe about a year ago. We kind of did a deep dive into it. And again, because this is like a thing that comes up about every year and blow a ton of people away that didn't realize that there was a Bart code. And you had to put all 4 issues together to make one Bart head. Well, not really, but that was kind of the plan at first, but I think they messed it up. And didn't they do it for another series too?
I think it was
another
like
series.
Well, it was all Simpsons comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Radioactive Man was one of them.
There you go.
Was the Itchy and Scratchy one of them? I think as well.
And then Bartman.
Yeah, and then maybe Bartman.
Yeah.
That might be the 4.
Yeah.
And it came in like a poly bag, right?
Yeah.
Is that how they came?
Yeah, and I think they're price variants. I think they're $1.95 price variants.
Yeah, so this one sold for an all-time high this week. A CGC 9.8 broke the $1,000 mark.
Wow, that's amazing.
Simpsons stuff is. We were talking the other day on the industry show, and we were talking about inventory and how to deal with sourcing inventory and that type of stuff, and what's the type of stuff that you guys search for as, retailers. And one of the things that I think Jesse and Dennis both talked about was Simpsons book. Anything Simpsons comic is evergreen, it's gonna sell, just all, no matter what. So they pick up everything that's Simpsons, and that was one of the ones that really kind of surprised me. I wasn't surprised when I heard, Jim Lee X-Men, Spawn, Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, the stuff that we know about Batman adventures, Walking Dead. But when they said Simpsons, I was like, no, nobody ever thinks about that. And they say it's like this. So,
And some of those action figures go for some pretty good money too, as well.
yeah, I remember those were a big thing back in the day. All right, there we go. Moving on. This one's interesting. Hino Horror, Volume 12, Mystique Mandala of Hell. And this is actually pretty big. It's like 190 pages, but I believe it is a trade paperback style book, if I'm not mistaken. Did you do much looking into this?
It's one of those backwards books. What is it? Is that
Mangas.
I never know. Is it manga or
Yeah.
I don't know. I never know. And crap, I forgot to write down the price.
Well, I can tell you,
it was expensive.
$150. $150 for this thing.
$150 for this thing.
Yep.
This, I actually, when I saw this, I my first thought was Lenore. That from Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, that Lenore book.
Yeah, I have one right here.
Doesn't that look like that?
Yeah.
Or am I completely tripping?
No, you're 100% right. It looks like it. I'm going to try and find it. I know I have one. I just sold one the other day. Yeah, it does remind me of Lenore. Well, this there is other little bit of information out there that I found. It says Sayoko, new girl at school, is something of a mystery. Quiet and shy, she prefers to be alone, and she is looked upon with suspicion by her classmates until she is befriended by Tanaka. But getting too close can only bring trouble, as Tanaka soon finds out. Sayoko is, in fact, Mandala, the daughter of the King of Hell. Given two all-seeing crystal eyes, she is sent into the world to save her dying clan from the invading Western demons. However, she soon loses one of the crystals, and centuries later, her search leads her to Tanaka, and the curse that is always with her takes hold of the young boy. So all 12 volumes are all these horror-style books, and they play a lot on Japanese folk tales of demons and stuff. So pretty interesting, and nice little sale. I think it was also a UK sale too. Was it a UK sale maybe? I'm
not sure. What's funny is I'm guessing that's a signature at the bottom. But on the back, it's all written in English. So I don't really know if that means it's in English or I don't know how any of these things work. You guys can make fun of me. I don't care.
Yeah. So, well, very interesting. There we go. Moving on. Now this one's pretty crazy to me. American Fairy Tale from Amar Chitra. Is it Chitra? Katha? India.
Oh man, you jumped off. This would be the perfect time for you to try and pronounce something.
Yeah. 1964. And these are there's a bunch of these that are available. A guy has a bunch of them that he wants $1,000 for. I don't know how many he's got, maybe 3 or 4. This was one of them, but this one sold by itself for a nice little chunk.
Yeah, $400 for this. I mean, I guess that was a thing, right? Just telling American fairy tales in other countries, I guess. I don't
100%.
know.
What's the American fairy tale they're telling right there? Little Red Riding Hood? That's not an American fairy tale. Isn't Little Red Riding Hood German or something like that.
Yeah, but this is the or Little Red Riding Hood where the wolf gets his head chopped off by Geppetto. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on here, but it turned very violent.
Just
On the
merge all the
cover.
stories into one, and it'll be all
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't even know where you find books like this. This is way out of my realm.
They
Antique store?
sold out everywhere. No, Brian's Comic Garage says Tales of the Bizarre. You guys are funny. They sold out everywhere really quick already. Ah, damn.
What?
Yep. That's what happens, bro. That's why we got to quit talking about them, bro. So
I'm too tired today. I didn't have a chance to even look. I saw it and I was like, oh, I need to buy that. And then I'm like, I'll look later.
mhm.
I watched next week. It'll be $50 and I'll be like, okay, I don't really want to spend $50, but
Yep. That's the way it is, bro.
yep.
Well, there we go. Moving on. Cars, issue number 7. There is a B cover. This is the A cover. The A cover is way better, and this is beautiful, man. This is a really good comic book cover.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. And this was the last issue. These Pixar Boom Kids. They did Toy Story. They did Nemo. And they are tough. Some of them are really hard to find. This was the last issue. I can see why this one was probably pretty hard to find. And the fact that it's got, Lightning and Mater on the cover is kind of cool. Yeah, $25 for this though. So I would never tell anybody to buy books, but I'm pretty sure if you see any of these Pixar books from, 10, 15 years ago, like don't leave them.
Yeah.
The Wall-E books sell good. Yeah, don't leave them. Just buy them.
I love how the map is behind them and it shows their route. That's just a really good cover.
What's the B cover look like? You said the B cover was better?
No, this is way better than the B cover.
Oh, okay.
Let me bring up the B cover. I don't know if they did B covers for them all. Might as well take a look, but here we go. So here is the B cover.
I bet that's like impossible to find.
Hey, I've still never found that Wall-E with the Christmas lights, with the colored the colored Christmas. I still have never found that one.
All right, let's see. There's only let's see here. 0. They don't even have covers. Shout cover price. If they don't have an image available, they're a rare book. There's a blank from Emerald City Comic Con. I bet you that's rare as hell. That one's cool. There's a lot. Cover B. There's 3 covers for number 1, 4 covers for number 1. There's a cover C.
Aren't they doing a new
That one's
Cars
good.
movie?
Oh, there's another blank for Heroes Con. That one's good. Yeah, that one's so good, man. The regular cover for 7 is really good. That's probably the best cover of the bunch, Stein, to be honest.
It might be.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's the last issue, so.
Yep. Not bad. Moving on. Creep Zine, a Creep Show fanzine. I couldn't find much information about this. They are doing, I think, a Kickstarter. There was a Kickstarter for another issue of this. But this is a fanzine for Creep Show that is limited to 100. And it looks pretty badass. Looks self-published by the creator. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, they're individually numbered on the back. So definitely numbered out of 100. I don't know what the inside looks like. I'd be interested to see what's on the inside. Blake Toombs is I don't even know who that is.
That's the creator. That's probably the guy that created it. Let me take a look and see if I can find.
an abominable assortment of insidious illustrations.
All right. Blake Tunes.
Made by y'all, the fans.
I mean, he could have done without the big, humongous, limited edition stamp on the front cover. Like, you could have just put that on the back cover.
Here you go.
So he's a soccer guy.
Yeah, looks like UK, Birmingham. I like House Party Freddy, Slimer. Yeah. There's Creep Scene. Here's the Kickstarter was
one copy left.
Yeah.
Go buy it.
Ooh.
This one sold for $220, so
Not bad.
somebody go buy that last copy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but
Moving on to one of the most beautiful covers of the run for Grimm. This is issue number 1, the 5th print, but not just the 5th print. The 5th print Boom Staff exclusive holiday party variant. There is a 5th print. Doesn't look like this. This is the 5th print Boom Staff holiday party exclusive variant, which is
I didn't know there was another 5th print because there's no 5th print that shows up on my comic shop. It only goes up to a 4th print.
Yeah, so
Oh wow.
pretty cool, man. This is a gorgeous
That is
cover.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes when I see them do this for their employees, and you figure, I mean, I don't know how many people work at Boom, but there can't be that many people that work at Boom, right?
Less than
Probably small
200, yeah. Maybe 50, who knows? Maybe 75, maybe 100.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, $300 for this. I couldn't really find any other sales at all.
Damn.
Probably because no one wants to sell their copy.
Yep.
If they're into comics and working at a comic publisher.
Where is Boom located in the country?
That's a great question. Let's take a look. Boom Studios.
The only reason I ask is like sometimes when these things, like, you can possibly
Los
find
Angeles?
them at local shops where they, the people just took them over there to sell them to them or something like that. So it's in LA.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Started in Hollywood, it looks like, because, Ross was in the movie business, and that's where he worked before getting into comics. So, but yeah, man, big changes for Boom going on right now. Getting sold, and a lot of big events and stuff going down for them. So.
Getting who they do they sell to someone, or are they selling to another publisher?
To distributor.
Yep.
To Random House.
Penguin Random House. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird.
Yep. The Penguin Random House acquired the company in 2024. Just recently.
That is really weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Kaboom. Remember how good that was? The old school Kaboom days. It was good times. But yeah. There you go. Moving over to Penguin Random House. That is
start emailing staff.
Yeah. That is the almost 10 this week, you guys. Congrats on everybody that got that first book of the night. It's a doozy. Watch that first step. It's a doozy. What movie is that from?
I don't remember.
Come on. Chat, let me know.
I'm too tired.
All right. Let's move on to the list. Starting off our Golden Age book of the week, Uncanny Tales, issue number 23. It is Groundhog Day, Jersey to the Bay. You are correct. Classic what do they call this? The ferryman. That's what they call him. What he's got a name, right? The man who pushes the ferry boat across
Oh, the
death.
River Styx.
This is a pretty cool cover, and it sold this week for a ridiculous price for a 6.5.
Yeah, I love this cover. It's got the full moon. It's got the creepy. That is a creepy mansion in the background, right? Or am I just saying?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and just the hat floating in the and I like how it says "Ask no questions." That's and with the big old box right there on the boat. That's awesome.
Yeah.
6.5 sold for $1,300 this week. Which now that I'm looking at it, it's a pretty like black cover. 6.5 seems pretty high for a grade for this.
Yeah.
For something that's 70 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool book. What, a major bin somewhere? I would guess.
Probably. It just seems tough to get.
Yeah. Well, Golden Age and horror books are that's what people are buying right now. It's one of the few things.
It's almost spooky season.
Well, that, and it's that time for horror books to be in that cyclical buying world. All right, moving on to our regular honorable mention this week. A really cool issue of Ultimates number 4. This is the 1 in 25. You got the maker finally becoming Doom of the 6160 universe, I think it is. And the maker, of course, is Reed Richards of the Ultimate Universe, and just a great character all around. And this is a good cover where you can see him finally becoming Doom.
Do you like this cover? I don't like this cover.
I don't think it's that great of a cover. I think it's a cool design, and I'm a big fan of this character. I never thought I would say that when they first started doing the character. I thought like, oh, this is kind of cheesy, but he was written really well, and I really like that Ultimate storyline. Was it Hickman that was writing that? I can't remember, with like the Blue Marvel, a couple other cool things too. So yeah, it's not that great, but it's selling. It's out this week.
1 in 25, selling for 30, 35. So a little bit above. I mean, not like super great or anything like that. This was a pretty slow, I would say it's a pretty slow week overall, but which isn't surprising with it being a holiday week. Those are usually, especially at the end of, pretty light into summer stuff. So I can see why, but
yeah. Well, all the Ultimate stuff is starting to kind of come together, it seems. It's interesting to see how it plays out. Moving on to number 10 this week. Oh, Star Wars The Acolyte. This is the Kelnaka issue number 1. It's a beautiful Okazaki cover, but man, is The Acolyte just totally taken some heat over the last couple weeks. The canceling of season 2. What's going on right now with this cancel culture type thing that's happening with people who criticize Star Wars. Have you guys been following that at all?
Not really.
Oh man, it's crazy. YouTube put out a thing saying that they're not going to go after anybody that criticizes Star Wars, because there was this big call to go after anybody that criticizes the Acolyte, and people started like, it was like this weird cancel culture movement on social media, and YouTube had to come out and basically say, like, we see what's going on here. And we don't think anybody did anything bad enough to get them kicked off of YouTube, because they're trying to kick all these, people off of YouTube for it. It's just very interesting. It's becoming
because they don't like the show. Because they don't like the show?
Yeah, it's very weird. It's toxic. It's cheesy. And it's sad, because Star Wars, man, should be the exact opposite. It should be I just remember when Star Wars was great and how everything about Star Wars was cool. And now I feel like there's very few stuff that is cool about Star Wars. Here's the thing that is cool about Star Wars, this Okazaki cover. This is definitely a good cover. And it's got the first appearance of this character in comics. So I don't know if it's going to, hold that price or amount to anything because they canceled it, but
Yeah. 135 though, that's pretty good. But yeah, this is like when you're just like, does it really? I mean,
But you
it's
could
like what are those like TV shows that get canceled after 2 seasons, and you're like, I like that show, and then you completely forget about it forever. You're just like, eh.
yeah.
But you
Yeah,
could probably
same shit.
compare it to like Mandalorian books, right? Because Okazaki did covers for that too as well. Like
Yeah.
1/100s, and you could kind of like probably try to see what this book is going to potentially do. But at the same time, you have to consider that people loved Mandalorian, people didn't like Alkali.
Yeah. And this character didn't get any time to marinate or anything, All he
Yeah.
did was walk around with a metal detector and then get killed. There was a really cool fight scene with him though that should have been cooler, but yeah, I'm with a lot of people out there, like Derek says, rest in peace to Black Chrysanthemum. Like whatever happened to that character was super cool, and anyways. Moving on, number 9 this week. One of the all-time greatest variants, a book that has a lot of lore in this show and content creators. Shout out to Mighty Mel V, OG host here at the House of Stein Hot 10. He talked about this book. It was his grail book for the longest time. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Lockjaw and the Pet Avengers Unleashed, issue number 4, the Scotty Young 1 in 15.
Yeah, so a lot of times when I'm trying to figure out what needs to go on the list and stuff, sometimes some of these rare books, there's just not very many sales, but I know like in general, Scotty Young stuff is doing really well right now. Especially the harder to find Scotty Youngs. Obviously, this is really hard to find. I've never found this one, never even seen this one. I don't even know if I've ever even seen just the regular issue, let alone the variant. But so a year ago, a 9/8 of this sold for $900. Then 2 months ago, a raw of this book sold for $1,000, and then this week, a raw again sold for $1,500 for raw.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, that's definitely the type of sale that you're right. Even though there's only one, these books are so rare, and that big of a bump in 2 months on a book that's been around for a long time. It's
Yeah.
such a ghost. Wow. And it's Scotty Young too. Throw that Scotty Young. It's a perfect storm. Cool character, Scotty, great artist, rare. Perfect
Yeah.
storm. So, Jesus. I hope Mel still got one.
I
Maybe.
can't remember if he sold it or kept it.
Yeah. When he needs a haircut, he's known to sell books. So,
It's weird. Like like with moderns, the books that are like $1,000 and stuff like that. Usually, it has a look to it. You're like, that's probably expensive. Like, unless you know that this is expensive, like you would never look at this and be like, oh, that's
no.
a $1,500 book. Like nobody would ever think that.
Nope. Yeah. Damn. That's good. So, all right. Moving on to number 8. Deadpool's Secret Wars issue number 2, the Chris Bachalo Gwenpool variant. First appearance of Gwenpool, cover only, but first appearance. Classic cover, great cover. The trade dress, the color, the design, everything about this cover is great. The only thing that's kind of rough on it is the Secret Wars symbol and the barcode, but those aren't even that bad. This is just a all-time great cover, and I feel like I wouldn't be mad at this book if this book ended up being like finding its sweet spot around $500 in a CGC 9.8. But this week it's back in the hot 10 because it had a 250 sale, right?
Several. So yeah, so at its peak during COVID, it did get up to 500.
Yep.
I had this once. I sold it. I probably should have kept it because the cover is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, this cover is really, really well done. Yeah, but they basically were 9/8 were about 175. Now they're back up to 250. Interesting on this. What is it? The Unbelievable Gwenpool, is that the first series that Gwenpool ever had? Like the books are the issues that are just in the teens, just the regular A covers in the like 16, 17. I don't remember what the last issue was. Maybe it was 20 something.
20,
But like the what
25.
Yeah, something like that. But the books like in the teens, they're like $25 books and $25 books now. So
Wow.
yeah, just the regular books. So like now maybe there may be the in the lower numbers there's probably a much higher print run, and the print run probably dropped a bunch at some point, and that's the ones in the teens are harder to find, or late teens. But just something to keep in mind when you're like, oh, I'm looking for the variants and looking for the last issue and the first issue, but don't forget about those, because
No.
people do like collecting full runs. So
Yep. And there's some great covers in that too. So 191 watching live, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Seen a lot of homies in the chat. Shout out to Journos, Ferdbird. Got to see Blue Green back in the chat. Lord Zero, what's up, brother? Shout out to Ken, Mojo. A lot of homies in the chat. So thank you for hanging out, you guys. We love you guys. We appreciate you. You make these shows amazing. So hit that thumbs up if you get a chance. Really helps us out. It's a real easy way to support the channel, to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Moving on to number 7 this week. A classic book, not a classic book, but a classic pandemic book. This book was super hot out the gate. Ice Cream Man, number 1, is on the list this week at number 7. Option news, right? Some option news on this. So
yeah, that's what Richie was saying. That I guess it got announced earlier this week or last week.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking pretty heavy about how horror is back in comics in a big way. You have the Creep Show Volume 3. You have the Oni EC books that are coming out now. And of course, Ice Cream Man is like issue number 45. All anthologies. The anthology stuff is amazing. I always have loved anthology comics. I feel like that is the root of and the origin of comic books is anthology books, especially in the horror world. So, and back issues are selling a big way when it comes to horror comics. So the old school, creepy, Vampirella, the magazines, PCH, we talked about that on our Golden Age book. Well, Ice Cream Man is right down that alley with a lot of great covers. They did some great variants, homage covers, all kinds of stuff. But issue number 1 is the book to get right now. 9/8 selling for the A cover up to $290. There's a sale today for, I believe, $290 for a 9/8 of issue number 1. Cover A, and cover B is selling for, I think, up to $170. Yeah, $170 9/8 for cover B. So not too shabby for this book on the list.
Great story. Great read.
Just remember that Chad Cave has the 1 of 1 Stein original art for Ice Cream Man. So if you ever are looking for the best Ice Cream Man variant out there, you have to hit Chad Cave up for that one because he's the only one that has it.
All right, moving on to number 6 this week. One of the most beautiful covers put out this week. This came out September 4th, a day after my birthday. Turned 44 this week, you guys. 44 years old. I feel
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I feel like I'm 90. Gabriel Dell'Otto, Daredevil. Not a ratio, just a regular variant, open order, I believe, for issue number 13. And this should have been a ratio variant because it would be probably number 1 if it was.
As of when I was looking at these books, you could still get this at Midtown, and I don't promote anybody, but you could get, they had it as one limit or one per person limit. You could still get this. I don't know if you still can, but these are selling on the secondary market for like 15. So you could get it for $5 from Midtown. I don't know if they still have them on My Comic Shop or not for that as well, but yeah, this one looks good with the white background for sure,
dude. And the bloody hands all taped up, the echolocation, like his head is placed perfect for the echolocation, and the trade dress fits it perfect. Even the Marvel at the top and the number 13, the way it's in red, man, this is just a great design of a cover. An absolutely great design of a cover.
I did hear it sold out at the distribution level too as well. Wow. I think by Wednesday.
Wow, that's amazing.
Dell'Otto is still so good.
Yep. He can turn it on, man, and be the best artist in the game. You know, like do stuff like this. The only thing that is kind of weird is the gloves that are hanging off his pants. Makes it it's kind of like weird looking when you notice it, but it is what it is. It's still that good. So halfway through, you guys. Number 5 this week. A series we talked about last week with the retailer preview. And now issue number 1 is on the list at number 5. 4 kids walk into a bank from Black Mask in 2016.
Yeah, amazingly, 9/8 of this had dropped all the way down to like $25 to $40. These were, I mean, basically the cost of grading. You could have had a 9/8. Now they're back to close to 100. So if you did buy in at the $25 mark, good investment, good quick flip. Now you can get rid of it if you want to.
Tons of variants for this. I mean, look at this. This is a lot of variants for this book. This is right. That's a good one right there. The San Diego. This is right when retailer exclusive variants were getting started. So you see a lot of them that you don't usually see. Samurai Comics did one. A lot of retailers that you don't usually see. Remember the fried pie? So Terry Hoekness. Did Hoekness do one? Look at that. CBSI one. Remember this old CBSI one? Ghost variant. So a lot of I love these. These just look so good. This one was limited to 50. Wizard World Philadelphia. So be on the lookout for them. This is a really good one with the water guns. And just this one really good too from San Diego. Just a great series or a great a time period in comic books. And I never thought I got to be honest, I never thought I would see this book on the list again. Never.
This got optioned as well.
Yep. So craziness.
I still am holding on to. I think I still have 2 sets of We Can Never Go Home.
Yeah.
Because that was such a good read.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really good. Another one of those series, man. Keep an eye on them. Spec is cyclical. It never dies. It just depends on how long till it comes back.
Hey, if they can make a Devilina then they can make anything, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. At number 4 this week. Oh, we talked about this last week also. Aliens vs. Avengers issue number 1, but specifically the Mark Brooks Virgin variant. Well, guess what, you guys? The Virgin variant got a little out of price, a little too pricey for a lot of people. So they just said, screw it, I'm just going to go to get the trade dress variant. And now the trade dress variant is selling for how much, Stein?
Like $25 to $35 or $30 to $35 on this.
Wow.
I think I feel like we've mentioned this like 1,000 times. Like, if that's a good cover, like, it makes no sense to on those Virgin ones. Yeah, I mean, the Virgin ones are nice, but are they worth spending? I mean, to basically you could get the trade dress for cover price. Why would you not just buy that? Then, I mean, so when I saw this, because I usually, like, what I do is I try and take last week's list and then type in this week to see if anything happened. And like the first 20 sales I saw this were, and I was like, what am I looking at here? Like, is this the trade dress? Like, I was shocked. But there is something like really eye appealing about this cover. It's probably the purples and stuff like that just make it super, appealing to look at.
Ferdbird said it too. The trade and it makes it look nice the way the trade is with the purple down the side. Even the 20th Century Fox doesn't look terrible, and it usually does.
Yeah.
Maybe they're actually considering the layout of that instead of just slapping on a trade.
Please. Come on. Hopefully. If not, hire me. I'll help. So, not bad, man. 25 to 35, 30 to 35, whatever. It is a beautiful cover. I don't think it's the best Brooks from that week. Me and Richie talked about it. Richie loves this one. I love the Ghost Spider-Gwen one. But Mark Brooks is just, he's such a great comic book artist. It's unreal. It really is. Moving on to the top 3 for this week. At number 3, Deadpool and Wolverine World War III, or WW3, issue number 1, the San Diego Comic-Con Party Edition that, again, we talked about this book last week, back on the list. If it's back on the list after 2 weeks in a row, you know that it went up in value, and it went up in value this week.
Yeah. Last week it was like $250. This week it is $350. Wow. So even more expensive this week than it was last week.
Yeah, tough book, rare. So rare that a lot of people that were in San Diego didn't even know about it. We didn't find out about out of our whole group. I think Clutch was the first one to mention anything about it, and that was like the couple of days before it was on the list because nobody had even seen them. How many do you think are out there of this?
1,000.
I don't know. It's Marvel. I mean,
yeah.
Depends on how exclusive the party was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did they want to ship them back to wherever they store all these, or they were like, we're just gonna dump these. We're gonna dump these in the trash. We're not taking them back with us.
That is so true. I don't know how many times I saw that at San Diego over the last 3 years. We saw it this year, Yee, when we were at that speakeasy bar, and they had all the penguin figures that they were giving out. At the end, they just put the whole box, like 2 whole cases out, and just said, "Here, anybody take them. We don't even want to deal with them anymore."
We ended up with like 2 each at one point, and then we were just hanging out on the street, people watching, and just started handing them out to random people.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully, somebody walked away with a bunch of these and doesn't flood the market with them. Maybe they'll be smart, So,
and like the Spawn guy.
Yep. Well, we'll see if it shows up on the list next week. That's a rarity, 3 weeks in a row. You never know, though. All right. At number 2 this week, a really good Art Germ cover. For some reason, this one looks so great with the background on this one. NYX issue number 1, the new volume that came out this week. This is the second print 1 in 25 by Art Germ.
What's the first? The back is the first print background is not the blue and yellow, right?
No, I'm gonna bring it up. I'll find it.
I think it's just like a trade or something like that, is it? Or is it a version as well?
I think there was a trade and maybe a 1 in 100. Was there? Is that what it was? Did they do the 1 in 100 on the?
Yeah, it was a 1 in 100. So it was red.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
no. Yeah. Man, I feel like I need to go do some sit-ups like right now.
Yeah. Yeah, she's her abs have abs. Yeah.
Yeah, 85 to 100 on this one. Do you like the red or the blue and yellow better?
The blue and yellow is way better.
Blue and yellow.
Yep. Good shit. So Art Germ has had a couple good covers lately that I like, and I'm not a big Art Germ fan. And he's had a couple good covers lately, so very interesting. But and this one's selling for 85 to 100, you said. Not bad.
85, yeah, 85 to 100.
Yeah, just came out this week, so for 1 in 25, there you go. All right, and you guys, finally, the number 1 book of the week, Trinity Special World's Finest, issue number 1, the 1 in 50 Sawi variant. I hope I'm saying that right. And you know, there was 3 good covers for this week, and this kind of surprised me that this was as popular as it was.
Yeah, this one really surprised me. Because it looks, I mean, it looks, again, it doesn't look expensive.
Yeah.
It looks like a cross between Peach Momoko and
Besh or something?
Yeah.
yeah, like yeah,
Oh, Bartel.
yeah, with the colors. Yeah, I mean 130 for this one. Like, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's not a cherry blossom cover.
Yeah.
Oh, then you have to buy it.
Yeah.
This here's the other covers. I really like the Chrissy Zula 1 in 25, but this one right here is my favorite, and it's not even a ratio, the Sweeney Boo. I think that's really good. But yeah, it's kind of surprised me to see this book be as popular as it is and not see that Rose Besh 1 in 100 Kitty Pryde book. You know, that didn't really get much love this week on the secondary market, and neither did that exceptional X-Men 1 in 100 variant, the bronze 1 in 100 variant that I thought might get some love. So interesting week this week for new books, especially.
Yeah, it was a weird week. Yeah, I mean, I think there were several good covers this week. You know, and there was some. It feels like there's some books that may have some potential, but not this week. Yeah, this one was a little weird for me, but
Yep. So it was a light week, this week, but you never know what's going to happen next week. Comics is a very interesting thing right now. We've got some fun things coming up on the horizon with Absolute DC. The new X-Men stuff seems to be pretty good so far. We have the Energon universe that's playing out, the Ghost Machine stuff that's playing out. I'm really interested to see how the second half of the year kind of plays out, you know, or the rest of the year plays out, I should say. Fourth quarter of the year, whatever you want to call it, for comics, because
I was gonna say real quick that I feel like this week seemed like it's kind of like things are swinging back into the normal swing of things. We're hearing option news, books are like, starting to tick up. Then you also have open order variants that are going way above cover price. So
Yeah.
I guess we're just not used to that anymore, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to see. Hopefully we get weeks like this again.
Yeah. And not every part of the comic book world is the sky falling. You know, there's a lot of negativity out there, and people, it's very palpable, and it's hard not to report on it sometimes. But it's it's also nice to see a lot of the books that we've been talking about lately. The art, I feel like art's kind of changing. Art styles kind of changing a little bit. You know, we started off the show with that amazing Dan Panosian cover. Artists are just really, really hitting their next level. And I love to see that. And we're also starting to get some really good content inside the covers. So for all you cover buyers that have become cover buyers just because the content hasn't been that great, it's time to start checking back in. So you guys tell me what you think about Absolute DC when it happens. That being said, this is the list for September, the week of September 6th, 2024. And we're going to get through the quick 10 and say goodbye to all you guys. Stein, what do you say?
See you.
All right, starting off for our Golden Age book of the week, Uncanny Tales, issue number 23, a CGC 6.5 sold for $1,300. What a great cover. Our regular honorable mention this week, The Ultimates, issue number 4. This is from the current volume of The Ultimates. A book came out this week. The maker finally takes on his Doctor Doom moniker. And this one is doing pretty well on the secondary market, selling for $30 to $35 for this 1 in 25 by Francesco Mobley. At number 10, Star Wars The Acolyte Kelnaka, issue number 1. The Okazaki Virgin 1 in 100. Absolutely beautiful. A lot of negativity surrounding the Acolyte lately, but this is a really, really good Okazaki cover, and it's seeing some love on the secondary market at $135 raw for this issue. At number 9, a classic perfect storm of a comic book that you don't see sell very often, Lockjaw and the Pet Avengers Unleashed, issue number 4, the Scotty Young 1 in 15 Throg variant. Shout out to the one and only Mighty Mel V, who championed this book very early on. And now this book is continuing to go nuclear. Like I said, it doesn't sell very often, but when it does, it's now getting $1,500 raw. Moving on to number 8, Deadpool Secret Wars issue number 2, another classic variant, Chris Pachalo Gwenpool variant. First appearance of Gwenpool, cover only, but it is a beautiful cover at that. And this one's starting to see a nice little uptick. 9/8s are getting $250 right now. So love this cover. I'm not mad at that. At number 7, a classic pandemic comic book, Ice Cream Man, issue number 1. The horror anthology series is up in the 40s now. It's continued to be one of the best comic books put out year to year, and horror comic books are the craze right now. And Ice Cream Man is getting some love, not only in the secondary market, but also in the option world. So hopefully we can cross our fingers that we're going to see this in a TV series soon, or maybe in a movie, who knows. But this week, 9/8s are getting up to $290 for cover A, and cover B is getting some love also, seeing up to $170. So love this Ice Cream Man series. Great series. At number 6, another book that came out this week, another gorgeous cover, this time from Gabriel Dell'Otto. This is Daredevil issue number 13, the Dell'Otto variant. Yeah, one of those perfect covers, and it's seeing some love. Not even a ratio, just an open order, and it's getting about $15. Tons of sales on this one this week. At number 5, Four Kids Walk Into a Bank, the Black Mask 2016 Darling. Also got some option news, and issue number 1 is seeing CGC sales of $90. Quite a few sales, and of course the retailer preview is seeing a lot of love. At number 4, Aliens vs. Avengers issue number 1, the Mark Brooks trade dress variant. Last week we talked about the Virgin variant on the list. Was selling for quite a bit of money on the secondary market. And I think Stein hit it on the head. Sometimes those Virgin variants are a little too expensive, so why not just buy the trade dress? And this one is a perfect example of that. The trade dress is selling for $30 to $35 on the secondary market, and it's a beaut for sure. At number 3, Deadpool and Wolverine WWE3 issue number 1, the San Diego Comic-Con 2024 Party Edition. Another book that was on the list last week, and it was selling for about $250 raw. It's still selling, and it's selling for more than $250 raw. Throwing another $100 on top of that, $350 for this rare party giveaway from San Diego Comic-Con. At number 2, NYX issue number 1, the Art Germ second print Virgin 1 in 25. The blue and yellow background variant is on fire. Another book that came out this week, selling for a grip $85 to $100 raw, and it is another beaut. And finally, at number 1 this week, Trinity Special World's Finest issue number 1, the Sawi 1 in 50, seeing $130 on the secondary market. Surprising book. Was definitely surprised to see it getting this much love, but it's getting a lot of love. And there was a couple good covers for this issue this week. So a new series from DC, and maybe it's worth taking a look at. That is the House of Stein Hot 10 comic books list for the week of September 6th, 2024. Thank you for hanging out with us, guys. We will see you next Friday here on the House of Stein.